I didn't realize that was that I changed the scene. I'm so sorry. Hey everybody, welcome on in, I guess. I I clicked studio mode so that I could swap scenes, so that I could prep the thing in the last 30 seconds before getting started. But I messed up, obviously. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna move some things around and then we'll... There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. I hope everyone is 30 seconds too early. A new record. Okay, no. Yeah, as I said, I tried to hit studio mode on OBS so that I could rearrange things. Oh, also, let me... Yeah? I think so. Does that look right? Hold up. I adjusted my camera yesterday. Sorry, there's lots of sounds going on. There we go. That should be fine. Alrighty, else. Okay. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. Welcome on in. Happy Thursday. Happy almost Friday. Welcome. Today is Just Dance 2025. I forgot to take a picture for Blue Sky. Apologies in advance. We're rocking the pigtails today. And the full purple outfit, except for the shoes. Shoes are just like the shoes that I've been wearing for the past couple days. I wore different shoes to work today, and I could feel it in my legs. They didn't have as good of support as everything else, at least these shoes, and some of my other shoes that I wear. So, that's where we're at. I had a long day today. I love what I do so much. It was really rewarding to a degree today. At first I was very stressed out because work yesterday was really stressful, and then today I had another long day of work, and so I was like, okay. And then I had a patient's family that had stopped in yesterday, like her daughter, and was like, yeah, I want to see what you're doing with her in speech therapy. I just want to see what's going on and what's happening, and things going on, what would she need speech therapy for? And I said, okay, yeah, you can come and see us during the session. So she was about to leave out the door, and then I got in for the came in for the day. It was at 11, and I was like, oh, okay. I was just about to do my session with her, and she was like, okay, go ahead, go, do whatever. So I start doing my session with her, with the patient today. Literally just some basic stuff, because this woman is a recent stroke, and I previously had some cognitive disorders prior to having the stroke, so everything before was even more exacerbated. Rev, what the... Rev! I just expanded the goal! Oh, I don't even get to finish my thought. Rev, thank you so much for the donation. I truly appreciate it. My goodness, thank you so much. That is so incredibly kind of you. I truly, truly appreciate it out here. And now that means that we are officially going to be dancing for 8 hours on Saturday. See, I can't stand seeing a progress bar that close. See, we hit 1,535 last night, and I expanded it to 1,600 a day, because I said yesterday that 1,600, if we hit 1,600, that would be my cap for extending the time on Saturday, because that would put us at 8 hours of dancing. and I physically cannot do. I probably can't do more than 8 hours. That's going to be like the cutoff time. So thanks for blowing it out of the water. Now I have to think of some more incentives as we expand it a little bit further. And we'll go from there. Time to expand it to 2K. We'll try. I'll do it after I finish my story because I was in the middle of my story here. So, so this patient's daughter, at first I thought she was just like really involved, really aggressive, almost like paranoid. And then I realized that it was actually more like sadness that she was so involved, because she came separately. Like she left after our session, like she had to go and take her dad somewhere, the daughter this is, and then she came back later in the afternoon and was like, I just want to know what, like, she came down into the gym as I was like sitting there at my computer finishing my notes for the day. She's like, I just want to see like what OT is doing. Like I don't know if like she saw OT today. Like I would really like to like get a better idea as to like what she's doing with OT. So forth and so forth. And then she looks at me as I'm like sitting there typing, and she starts crying. I didn't know how to broach this. Like I usually I'm not used to like family members crying. Usually I'm not the one that's like putting anybody through any kind of painful stuff. So people don't usually cry with me. But this was a family member that she just like started crying. She was like, thank you for being so compassionate and so kind to my mom earlier, and like I got a better idea as to like what you guys are actually doing, and now I saw what you were doing, and now I'm going to do it over the weekend with her to keep working on her brain. And she's like, it's exactly what you're talking about. She, my mom is, such a smart woman. It's just, we're working on like pulling things out of there. And I was like, I'm going to give you a hug now. Okay, it'll be all right. We're going to keep working in therapy, everybody. I promise ya, okay? I guess she just didn't fully realize to the extent that her mom was having issues. And yeah. Yeah, just a kind of like a sad situation. So that was my day today. So the stressful stuff of yesterday, having that family member, the daughter, come and like almost like berate me in the middle of the afternoon, being like, I was really like thrown off that I wasn't there to see you like evaluate her and everything else. And I'm like, you can't be here all the time. We can't micromanage it. We can't micromanage our therapy sessions, I promise you. To her today, like crying after seeing my session with her, felt pretty good. It felt pretty good, knowing that you're doing something that's helping somebody else. So, there you are. Just like how I hope you all are feeling. This is how we tie it back in. Just like how I hope you all are feeling about your very, very generous donations for St. Jude Children's Research Center, Research Hospital. In that you are getting to help others. So, thank you again so much for your donations. There's the tie-in for today. Again, we are continuing on our Just Dance speed runs for this entire week here. Today is 2025. Tomorrow we officially hit 2026. And then Saturday is our fun category called, what is it called? What is it called? Non-stop pop. I got it. Okay. Non-stop pop, where you just keep dancing for an extended period of time. And Saturday will be starting at 10 a.m. So, okay, Nonstop Pop. Girl, IDK, you're the streamer? Okay, well, I know that. You just know that I'm always all over the place. There's never a dull moment here. Alrighty. Let me, well, thanks to Rev, we officially hit our max cap of the goal of 8 straight hours of dancing on Saturday. Now, I have to figure out how to. Oh, I found it. Okay. There we go. There we are. I will extend the goal. Okay. I will also take ideas for what you would like. If we happen to hit 2K, I will. If you have any ideas, I'm willing to take them. Within reason, obviously. Within reason. But 2K is a big milestone. So, an all expenses paid vacation. Yeah, do you remember how I just mentioned my job and how I'm a therapist? There you go. You get to see me like awkwardly take that picture as I post it to Blue Sky right now. Now hold on, we can make that work. Are we sure about that? It's 3 in the morning. It's like my body's swollen. I think about you. Give it up for day 5. With more Just Dance speed runs. With more Just Dance speed runs today. Just Dance 2025 all songs percentage. Twitch.tv/a 20-something loser. Oop, let's type my username correctly. Vacation to the lucky winner's own backyard. Alrighty. Posted it on Blue Sky. We're good to go. Alrighty. Any news? Anything interesting? Anything updated? Anything cool? Anything? Is this the? Hold up. I was at Madison Beer concert today. Fun. Jealous. That sounds like a fun time. There's like right now there's currently a Blue Sky like trend going around about like your last. Hang on, I gotta hype up my friend. But what was I talking about? Oh, Blue Sky trend where you're posting like 10 concerts that you've been to get to know you. I can't think of the 10 that I've been to that would describe me. other than Bleachers. So we'll see. It was so fun. Yeah. I feel like a Madison Beer concert would be extremely, extremely fun. Make me break a sweat. Hang on. I'm trying to make sure I have all the songs on our thing here. Espresso X's Halloween's Here, In the Shadows, In Your Eyes, Lovin' on Me, Lunch, Mi Gente Lo Siente, Move Your Body, My Heart Will Go On, Padam Padam, Paint the Town Red, Party in the USA, Payphone, Pink Venom, Playdate, Poker Face, Sleigh Ride, Something I Can Feel, SpongeBob's Birthday, Stop This Fire, Sunlight. Oh, where's Sweet Melody? I gotta look for that one. Training Season. Okay. Is there a way I can rearrange them? I hope so. Put that there. And I would rather end with Yeah by Usher. There we go. Okay. Let's do that. Oh! Hang on, Just Dance just closed on me. Hold the phone. That's scared. It is. I mean, one song and you're crying. The next year in the club, it's a roller coaster. I just love live music. It's fantastic. I made a playlist, which is the playlist that we were just listening to, called it just has a bunch of like dance music from Lazo, whoever that like group is. They're really great. SpongeBob's Birthday, yeah, that's one of the songs here. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Okay, I was under activities. I was under my custom playlists, and then it started not working. It just shut itself down. Yep. There we go. I was rearranging songs, and then reorder song. There we go. Get your body. I was rearranging some songs here. Whatever, we're meant to be together. I'll be there and he'll be near. Hi, Grace. Your hair looks really good. Okay. I think that works it out. Yeah. Looks like spring has finally sprung. The 14-day forecast is showing day temps not dropping below 70. Hell yeah. It is 53 here. It'll be in the mid-60s all next week. It was supposed to be in the 70s, but now it's dropped down to the 60s. So, love it. Okay. I think that's the only change that I made. Sweet Melody got moved around. Unstoppable. Vogue, whenever. You Love Who You Love, and yeah, we're gonna end with Yeah by Usher. Alrighty. We ready to dance, everybody? I hope so. I gotta click into the other playlist though. Boop, 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 boop. This one. Bum 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 bum. Send myself the creeps. My mind plays tricks on me. Boom, boom. Alrighty, I think we're good now. Everyone feeling good? Can everyone hear it good? How was the audio yesterday, is my question. Because yesterday I had both playing. How is the audio right now? Can you hear it doubled or no? We have to do Cheapy Choppa. Can hear great? Okay. Can you hear it double though? Waiting. No, okay, good. When I look at you in your eyes, I see there's something burning inside. I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you. Yeah, we have to do all of these. And that includes Bang Bang at my neurodivergent anthem, all the way to Cheepy Cheepy Choppa Choppa, all the way to more holiday songs, Sleigh Ride. So. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot to open up fish. Hang on. Fish. See, that's what I can do before we get going. But I know you wanna take me home. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I'll let get to my head. I think. Fly away. Out in my head like yeah. But even the sun sets in paradise. I made a paper. Alrighty. Here we go. All songs 2025 speedrun starting in 3, 2, 1. Go. It's in my head. You know I hate sometimes. My mind can run faster than a bullet from a gun. My heart is like a trigger in my chest. There it goes again. Bang bang, my head. Bang bang. Bang bang. Oh, that hurts today. Bang bang. It's in my head. Bang bang. Bang bang. Bang bang. It's in my head. I can't do the leg thing today. It's in my head. It's in my head. Bang bang. Bang bang. It's in my head. Bang bang. Bang bang. Oh, ow. I did not stretch. Then I caught from a gun. It's in my head. Bang bang. Bang bang. Bang bang. is in my head. Bang, bang. Is in my head. Get myself. Okay, we're going with the easy one. I'm going with the easy one. Bear with me. Let's hit 2K tonight, gamers. Hi, Bruce. Welcome on in. I will say, you said it hit 1K last night, and we hit 1.5 last night, so.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once?
I'm one of those melodramatic fools.
Neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes I mind plays tricks on these. It all keeps adding up. Think I'm packing up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just drunk? Went to a shrink. She's analyzed my dreams. Said exactly, knocking me down. I went to a hole. Said my life's a bore. Down. Right. I did. I'm not gonna be in town until the concert, though. That's the problem. Like I still have to work that day. I'm annoyed. Yeah. No, I would pretty much be coming straight from work. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm packing up. Am I just paranoid? Boom, boom. Huge. I'm excited too. Hi, awesome Tai Tai, welcome on in. Also, I think earlier, Scuff, thank you for your like 95-day. What was it? 95-day stream streak. G-Money, thank you for the 80 stream streak. I appreciate it.
Easy now, no need to go down. Rock that run, that this how we frown. Easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down. Rock that run, that this how we frown.
I don't know if I have that command anymore, Rev. Oh, boop. this way. I'm not usually the middle character. I chose the middle character this time. Whoop whoop. Tuck it down. John says he doesn't think Spotify should still exist without music. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Checks out to me, if I'm being honest. Heard. Yeah, on the Chattahoochee. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. We're the one on the far left. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. Talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, just a living for the minute. Yeah, way
down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much money meant to me.
But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living and a little about love.
Hey.
Well, we fogged up the windows in my old Chevy. I was willing, but she wasn't ready. So I settled for a burger and a grape snow cone. I dropped her off early, but I didn't go
home.
Down by the river on a Friday night, a pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. Talking about cars and dreaming about women. Never had a plan, just a living for the minute. Yeah, went down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me. But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living and a little about love. Yeah. Way
Right
down
down
yonder
yonder
on
on
the
the
Chattahoochee,
Chattahoochee.
never knew how much that muddy water
Man to me.
But I learned how to swim and I learned who I was. A lot about living and a little about love. A lot about living and a little
About love. Oh, we're not done yet. Yippee! Way out yonder on the Chattahoochee. Alrighty. Oh. And here's the next one. Not as fun. We'll get into, again, there's like another span of songs in the middle of here that are just like really fun dances. But the beginning's kind of a little eh. Except for Basket Case, that one's kind of fun. This is a Just Dance original song. Yes, in case you were curious, no, that song does not have any lyrics at all to it. It is just that. Alrighty. Time to turn up the vibes here. Doobie doobie doobie. And then espresso right after. Here we go. Amigos. Go. Chupi chupi chapa chapa. Ubi ubi raba raba. Chupi chupi chapi chapa. Ubi. Casa. Casa. Ay, ahora. Para. Chippy, chippy, choppa, choppa, ooby, dooby, dabba, dabba. Chippy, choppa, yappa, ooby, dooby, dabba, dabba. Chippy, chippy, choppa, choppa, ooby, dooby, dabba, dabba. Nice. Nice. Alrighty. Every night, oh baby, that's me espresso. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. Now we think about me every night, oh, isn't that sweet? I guess so. So you can't sleep, baby, I know that's that me espresso. Down a Friday, just like your Nintendo. I can't relate, cause inspiration give are on vacation. Got this one boy, and he won't stop calling. Act this way. I know I got him. God, your ex don't do it for you. Then the dream came true for you. Damn sweet, I guess so. I'm working late, cause I'm a singer. That's so cute. Wrap around my fingers, just to humor. Make 'em laugh so often. My honeybee. I get this pollen. The ex don't do it for ya. Locked in and dream came true for ya. Then and I perfumed it for ya. Got and do it for ya. The morning coffee brewed it for ya. Station I renewed it for ya. Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, isn't that sweet? I guess so. They can't sleep, baby. Sweet, I guess so. Not me espresso. Let's go. Alrighty. This one is a more complicated one. Let's see if I remember how to do the dance. Probably not, but we're gonna try. Sorry, sorry that you love me. I'm on the. Kisses to my exes. Get about it. Kisses to. I get and we break up. Then I said, but call me. Number 9. Kisses to my exes.
Happens every time. I don't make many big calls, but it's how I get. Me and all my pride. Tryna burn down every bridge anytime we can. And again, I'm a wild ride that never stops. I'm a hard case they can't unlock. And I swear I can't lie, just not enough.
This is it is what it is. That was what it was. Kisses to my exes. You don't give a about me. Kisses to my exes. They're gonna live without me.
Say I wanna go there, they don't wanna leave. Make another promise that I can't keep. I don't ever know what I want, but that's what you want. If you down, then me. Breaking it all before the start, making it all up in my head. Probably just overshare about things I never meant.
I'm a.
Ride and never stops. I'm a hard case they can't unlock. And I swear I can't lie, just not enough.
As I said, it is what it is. That was what it was. Kisses to my exes. Give it about me. Kisses to my. Show my love like it's sorry. To my exes. Get on the body. Yeah, 30. Kisses to my exes. Yay! Ow, that actually hurt. Squatting down. Oh! Boy, did the back of my thigh just start to hurt. I want my dog. There we go. Okay. That muscle. Right, it's my cat. Not my calf, my quad. Alrighty, we're in for a little weird one. Halloween's here. It's my favorite night of the year. Call your friends and get yourself ready for the show.
Creepy crawly spiders hidden in your bed. Hallows Eve is on tonight. I'm getting in your head. The sun is going down and the shadows come alive. Count to 10 and find me as you hide.
Halloween's here. Halloween's here. It's my favorite night of the year. Call your friends and get yourself ready for the show.
A witch in our halls, it's jack-o'-lantern's light. Mommy tells a fortune and Daddy gives a fright. The lights are dimmed and waiting, the haunted house is set. Come inside,
What she gets. Oh. It's true, no, it's the best night of the year. Call your friends and get yourself ready for the show.
Ghosts and ghouls and goblins knocking at the door, trading looks for candy and always wanting more. The line is getting longer, it's stretching down the street. Trick or treat, smell my feet.
Give me something good to eat. Everybody knows it's the best night of the year. Call your friends and get yourself ready for the show. Bum 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 ba. Bum 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 ba. Bum 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 ba. Boo 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 ba. Bum 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 ba. Bum 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 bum. We love a conga line. Halloween's here. Halloween's here. Everybody knows it's the best night of the year. Call your friends and get yourself ready for the show. Halloween. 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 A treat. Alright. There we are, beautiful, lovely people. We've got a song called In the Shadows next. Not one of my favorites. Oh, Rev, you picked a hard Pokemon. I hope you know that. For anyone curious, for a $5 donation, I will draw a Pokemon from memory. We do it at the end of each stream. I've drawn everything from Weezing last night to Flygon to I drew a Torracat. I just looked at what the Pokemon was that Rev wanted me to draw. And Rev chose Reshiram. And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know if I know that one very well. I mean, I do, but it's going to be hard. So if you would like me to draw a Pokemon from memory, it is a $5 donation incentive. Hi Mario, welcome on in. I think that's my favorite part of this song. Go to the flower. The shadows. I've been watching. Oh. shadows. I've been waiting. Nice, 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 nice. Alrighty. And just because I haven't done it in a moment, there is the link to donate to St. Jude. We are on day 5 out of 7 of Dancing for St. Jude. Alrighty, we are back into the swing of songs here that are pretty fun to dance to. Take those thoughts that they what's that on? I wanna know tell what you done, but your eyes, I see the shock inside and inside you. Inside you, in your eyes. Just try to, and always. Trying, I'm blind in your eyes. Just find you. I'll define you. Cry to you. Cry to you. Oh my god, Just Dance lore! Do you have any idea that there's Just Dance lore like that? Oh my god, that was the Swan Queen! No way! Yes way! No way! That was the Swan Queen! Alrighty, as I said, span of songs are really good.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skilla, baby. And the thing about your boy is I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me. Young J-A-C-K-A-K-A, Rico like Suave, Young Enrique, speaking at AKA. She's an alpha, but not around your boy. She get quiet around your boy. Hold on, don't know what you heard or what you thought about your boy, but they lied about your boy. Going dumb, and it's something idiotic about your boy. She wearing cheetah print, that's how bad she won't be spotted around your boy.
No whips and chains, you can tell me down.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skilla, baby. And the thing about your boy is
I don't like no whips and chains, and you can tell me down.
you can whip your lovin' on me, whip your lovin' on me. Young MISSIONARY, he's sharp like barbed wire. She stole my heart, then she got archived. I keep it short with a Lord Farquaad. All the girls in the front row, all the girls in the barricade, all the girls have been waiting all day. Let your tongue hang out, everything. If you came with a man, let go of his hand. Everybody in the suite kicking up they feet, stand up, dance. I see you. And all the guys in the back waiting on the next track. Cut your boy a little slack. It's Young Jack. I'm vanilla, baby. I'll choke you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skilla, baby. And the thing about your boy is I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me.
Nice. Huge. Alrighty. Guess what I forgot to do? Turn my hair on. I can eat that girl for lunch. Yeah, she's dancing on my toe. She says she might be the one. Ooh, there we go. Back in. I'll eat that girl for lunch. Dancing on my toe. She might be the one. Never get enough. Claire.
So now she's coming up the stairs. So I'm pulling up the chair and I'm pulling up my hair. Baby, I think you were made for me. Somebody write down the recipe. Been trying hard not to overeat. You're just so sweet.
I wanna show it for you like a boy. I gotta spell you, turn me on. Come on. Could eat that girl for lunch. Yeah, she's dancing on my tongue. Seems like she might be the one. Get enough. Could buy some stuff. I could trade it, not a crush.
She's taking pictures of me. Oh my God, her skin's so clear. Tell her bring that over here. You need to see a volunteer. Now she's smiling ear to ear. She's the headlights on the deer. I said it all
Before, but I'll say it again.
I'm interested in more than just being a friend. I don't wanna break it, just want it to bend. Do you know how to bend? I could eat that girl for lunch.
She dances on my tongue.
I know it's just a hunch, but she might
Be the one. That girl from lunch. She might be the one. Eat that girl for lunch. She might be the one. Nice. Yeah. That's my reaction for today. Yeah. Alrighty. We got another like weird stretch of songs. Standing like this, I just feel like an NPC. Waiting to like be interacted with. As stated, we're in like the weird kind of stretch of songs. I know this one pretty well though. I could probably do this one like almost from memory. Gets me dizzy. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Night. Night. Hello. Ain't nobody home. Be like the music, take control of music all night. John. Hi Mikey, welcome on in. He's about to show your higher, 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 higher. Higher is what I would like to see the number on the screen go for donations for St. Jude. Let's see. Crazy like a fool. Night. Hello night. Hello. Anybody home? higher, 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 higher. I'm kinda boring and I wake up in the morning once again. Wake up in the morning feeling kinda boring and wake up in the morning once again. Now pause. Pose. Now pause. Now pose. Music take control. Music take control. Jumping, dancing. Higher, go higher. Higher, 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 higher. Woohoo! Okay, there we go. Ooh. We're gonna slow it down just for a little bit. Wherever you are. Well, you got My Heart Will Go On. It's slow. And then we got Padam Padam, which is fast. So every night in my dreams I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance, spacious between us. You have come to show you. Go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe the heart will run. Yawn, small, open the door, and here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Touch this
one time and
last time,
and never let
make out till love was when I lost you. On true time,
I
hold you.
in my life will always
Go on. Near, far, wherever you are, and nope. Oh, that's the best we can get. Small, you open the door, and I'll hear
in my heart, and my heart will
go on. Devin said I'm stinky. Yeah, probably, honestly. Right now, yeah. Probably accurate. Oh, that I am small? Also true. And my heart will go on. Stand wherever sway. My heart will go on. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know. I can't do math like that. His chat isn't working right now and can't type anything, but he can see. Really? Oh, getting off the floor. Kind of hurt. For me, I can handle like somebody.
I know. I can tell you how this ends. I'll be in your head all weekend. Shivers and butterflies. I get the shivers when I look into your eyes. And I can tell that you're all in. 'Cause I can hear your heart beating.
But I hear it in the room. But I know I want to take it home. But your heart feels. I hear it and I go. But
This place is crowded up. I think it's time for you to take me out this club. But we don't need to use our words. I wanna see what's underneath that t-shirt. Shivers and cold champagne. I get the shivers every time you say my name. And I can tell that
you're okay.
'cause I can hear your heart beating.
Home, Interesting. You think there's a 7 TV? Interesting, huh? Stream has no music on my TV and confused the crap out of me. I don't know what's up with that. Thank you for the donation. Oh my god, Alexa. I'll have to look and see what Pokemon that is. Thank you for the donation. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome by. We're about an hour in. We got about an hour left.
Yeah.
I I'd rather be famous instead. I'd rather that get to my head. It's down there. Yes, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I'd rather that get to my head. I love it. I paint the town red. Ooh, she the devil. She a bad little bitch. She a rebel. Pedal. It take a whole lot to me to settle. Ooh, she the devil. She a bad little bitch. She a rebel. She a fool. Pedal. Take a whole lot for me to settle.
Said my happiness is all of your misery. I put good all in my kidneys. This smart gel don't come with no jealousy. My illness don't come with no remedy. I am so much fun without. They just want my love and my energy.
Were you guys all not able to chat?
If you send for me, I'm going to glow up one more time. Trust me, I have magical foresight.
Oh my God.
Sleeping in courtside, you gon' see me eating 10 more times. Ugh, you can't take this one nowhere. Ugh, I look better with no hair. Ugh, ain't no sign I can't smoke here. Ugh, yeah, give me the chance and I'll go there. I said what I said. I'd rather
Hi Mel, hi Alexa, hi Devin.
I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red. She the
Devil, she a bad little bitch. She a rebel. Pedal. Take a whole lot for me to settle.
She the devil, she a bad little, she a rebel, she put her foot to the pedal. It'll take a whole lot for me to settle. Yeah, said
Come on.
money now you try. You could use a revamp with a new vibe, sis. I don't need a big feature or a new sidekick. I don't need a new fan, cause my boo like it. I don't need to wear a wig to make you like it. I'm a two-time, you ain't knew I'd win. Throw a shot like you tryna have a foot fight then. All my ops waiting for me to be you, I bet. Said, I got drive, I don't need a car. Money really all that we fiending for. I'm doing things they ain't seen before. Bands ain't dumb, but extreme.
Saw you, Mr.
I'm
My demon lord.
Fall off what? I ain't seen the horse. Called your bluff, better cite the source. Fame ain't something that I know no more. Cause I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. I don't care, I paint the town red.
She the devil. She a bad little. She a rebel. She a the pedal. It'd take a whole lot for me to settle.
She the devil, she a bad little, she a rebel, she put her foot to the pedal. It'll take a whole lot for me to settle.
Walk on by. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice. Beautiful. Alrighty. We got Party in the USA. We got Payphone coming up next. It's a good time. Boo-doo-doo. There's a dream in my cardigan. Welcome to the land of sin. Oh, am I gonna fit in? Hopped in a cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. And to be turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Pressure and I'm nervous. Top of my head, top to play my song. Butterflies fly away. Not in my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. It's up to play my song. You know it's gonna be okay. Yeah. It's party in the USA. Party in the USA. Yeah, I'm in a taxi cab. Everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? She's gotta be from out of town. So God, when my girl's not around me, it's definition not a national party. So let's see our stilettos. Guess I really never got the memo. I'm starting and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. Nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. Stop to play my song and look up be okay. Yeah. It's party in the USA. Yeah. Oh, I got it on the floor. Come my hometown tonight. Stops me every time. DJ feel my song, I feel like stop to play my song, not far away. Not in my head like yeah, moving my hips like yeah. Stop to play my song, know it's gonna be okay. I got my hands mixed up there. Oops. Oh my God, my arms are killing me. Arms are, back and forth, back and forth. Even the sunset in paradise. I'm at a payphone trying to call home all of my friends and ain't on you. Call home all of my change I spent on you. Where have the times gone, baby? It's all wrong. Where are the plans we made for two? You're next to me. All of my pictures burned down. I wasted my life. You turned out the lights out our paradise. Stuck in that time, we called it love, but even the sun sets in paradise. And I spent on you. Plans we made for two. Never I did exist. Still be holding you like this. Tales are full of it. Save it away. All of the bridges burned down. I wasted my nights. You turned out the lights. Now I'm paralyzed. Just spent on you. Plans we made for two. The ever after did exist. Holding fairy tales are full of it.
Spending all this money while you sitting around wondering why it wasn't you who came up from nothing. Made it from the bottom, now when you see me, I'm stunting. And all of my cars are with a push of a button. Telling me I changed since I blew up or whatever you call it. Switch the number to my phone so you never could call it. Don't need my name on my show, you could tell it I'm ballin'. Swish, what a shame, could've got picked. Had a really good game, but you missed your last shot. So you talk about who you see at the top or what you could've saw. But sad to say, it's over for. Phantom pull up, valet, open doors. Wished I go away, got what you was looking for. Now it's me who they want, so you can go and take that little piece of with you.
Not a bad, oh, trying to go home, all of my change. And on you, I are the times gone, and it's all wrong. Plans we made for two that didn't exist. I would still be holding you like this. Tales are full of it. I'm at a payphone meeting. Oh my god, that was a long cutscene. Goodness gracious. Alrighty. Straight to you, don't like. It's been a while since I've done that one. I will not lie. I was gonna say that feels like the best I've ever done on that last song. So nice. Alrighty, as a reminder, this is Melanie Martinez. I do apologize for playing her. You know that I would not normally play her, but it is a part of the speedrun. So we're gonna hopefully quickly get through this as fast as possible. That's my little spiel.
You call me on the telephone.
You can look up what Melanie Martinez did.
Tell me to come over. There's some games you wanna play. I'm walking to your house. Nobody's home. Just me and you and you and me
Me alone.
We're just playing hide and seek. It's getting hard to breathe under the sheets with you. I don't wanna play no games. I'm tired of always chasing after you. I don't give a fuck about you anyways. Whoever said I give a fuck about you? You never share your toys or communicate. I guess I'm just a play date to you. Wake up in your bedroom and there's nothing left to say. When I try to talk, you're always playing board games. I wish I had Monopoly over your mind. I wish I didn't care all the time. We're just playing hide and seek. It's getting hard to breathe under the sheets with you. I don't wanna play no games. I'm tired of always chasing after you. I don't give a fuck about you anyways. Whoever said I give a fuck about you? You never share your toys or communicate. I guess I'm just a play date to you. Ring around the rosy. I never know what you need. Ring around the rosy. I wanna give you what you need. I don't give a fuck about you anyways. Whoever said I give a fuck about you? You never share your toys or communicate. I guess I'm just a play date to you. You know I give a fuck about you every day. Guess it's time that I tell you the truth. If I share my toys, will you let me stay? Don't wanna leave this play date with you.
Woohoo! Alrighty, moving past that one. Bum 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 bum. Karen Ma. We're gonna choose the medium one. The easier the better. Thank you.
I wanna hold 'em like they do in Texas, please. Fold 'em, let 'em hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. I love it. Love game, intuition, play the card with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. I'll get him hard, show him what I got. I'll get him hard, show him what I got. Can't read my, no.
You can't read in my poker face. Can't read my, no, you can't read in my poker face. Pop, pop, a poker face, pop, pop, poker face. Pop, pop, a poker face, pop, pop, poker face.
I wanna roll with him, a hot pair we will be.
A little gamble and it's fun when you're with me. I love it. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. Rough it isn't fun. Oh, 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 I'll get him high, show him what I got. Carry my, no you can't read on my poker face. She's got to love nobody. Carry my poker face. She's got pop 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 poker face, pop pop poker face. Pop 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 poker face, pop pop poker face. Tell you that I love you, just I'm bluffing, cause I'm bluffing with my muffin. I'm not lying, running with my love glue gun, and just like chicken in the casino, take your bank before I pay you out with promises, promises. Cause I'm marvelous. My poker face. Pop 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 poker face, pop pop poker face. Pop 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 poker face, pop pop poker face. Pop 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 poker face, pop pop poker face. Pop 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 poker face, pop pop poker face. We did it! Yippee! 5 stars. Is that a new PB? No. Alrighty, we're about to slow it down real good. Here we go. A drastic change in songs here.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring tingle tingling too.
Ding 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 dong ding.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow
Stars falling and trains are calling you. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Ding a ling a ling a ding dong ding. Ring a ling a ding a ding dong ding.
Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy and cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like two birds of a feather would be. Let's take the road.
I'll sing parties and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy and cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like two birds of a feather would be. Let's take the road before us and sing a
Chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Why are we thinking about ding dongs? Good question. Don't know. Don't know, y'all. Couldn't tell ya. Don't know. Ring a ding a ding a ding dong ding. Ring a ding a ding a ding dong ding. Alrighty. Alrighty, party people. Here we go. I don't really know this song very well. So that's where we're at today. That's it. That's all it's new. We're just gonna try our best.
Wait, it's so hard when I'm underwater, struggling not to just breathe in, and every second it gets darker. Oh wait, it's pulling me under. I'm no stranger to the deep end, but this time I've fallen farther. I've held my breath so long I'm spinning round. Wish I could kick off the ground. Ah, my heart is beating out my chest aloud, but no one else can hear a sound.
See, I like the lyrical songs and the lyrical dance when I know the song. But when I don't know the songs, that's the problem.
It's time to pick up all the pieces. I know they'll never
Ow.
fit the way they once did, but maybe that's what growing is. I've held my breath so long I'm spinning round. Wish I could kick off the ground. My heart is beating out my chest aloud, but no one else can hear a sound. Give me something to hold on, something I can feel. Let me crash to the floor, at least I'll know that it's real. Rock bottom is scary if you've never been before.
Hi, Bima, welcome on in.
'Cause it's easy to lose yourself on the way down. Let me get to the part where I hit solid ground. If I know where I am, then I can start to heal. Give me something I can feel. Give me something.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Give me something.
I don't know this song, which makes it harder.
Something I can feel.
To dance to. We were really good. I could have gotten 5 stars. I'm a little kind of upset about that, but that's fine. Okay, move on. Next one. Now time for everybody's favorite song. It's SpongeBob's birthday. Here we go. For the next concert you go to? Oh no. Don't know about that. Definitely not songs from that last one. Alrighty, here we go. This one, yes. I would remember dance moves from this one. Pew, pew. Ba-dum. Go, Patrick. Happy birthday.
Big juicy birthday.
Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Go, Patrick. Happy,
Show
happy birthday.
happy birthday.
Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get to the breakdown. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, baby.
Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Time to celebrate your birthday. That's right. It's your birthday, baby.
Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Birthday is a day. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. There you go. Yippee! Alrighty. Alrighty, beautiful, wonderful people here. We have under an hour at this point. I'm saving that much time. We are speed running through this. And again, would love to see us get some more donations for St. Jude. As a reminder, we are speedrunning every Just Dance. A different Just Dance every single day. For St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It says I play my all that. We can't stop this fire. They're actually gonna change the down and all down, 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 down. Something about your love. I love this song. This is a Just Dance original song. Now? You've done us to paradise. Something about your boy. Something about your boy. All the takes away my body. Can't hit the brakes when I shed. It escalates down. Talking. All that. Such. Safe down. Oh baby, we can't stop this fire. So I tell the flames are burning all down, 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 down. We can't stop this fire. But I your tongue, we don't pull it down, 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 down. In our body. So touch that. Oh baby, we can't stop this fire. Something about your love. Something about your love. Something about your love. We can't stop this fire. So I take your says we're fucking all down, 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 down. We can't stop this fire. Down. Oh, man. kiss away my body. Hate that breaks my touch that it escalates now. Baby, we can't stop. It's all something about your love. Something about your love. Something about your love. Huge! Now the question is, I was about to ask if the last one was a high score. It was not, but it felt like it. It felt really good. Alrighty, this is another one of my favorites. It is a Just Dance original song as well too. Just because there's a lot of references to a lot of the old Just Dance songs. So, here we go. Looking at you, okay. That is what you do. You got. Hit me on a silver score, you baby, that's my lucky day. You sway my way, you hit me with the sunlight. Suddenly I'm shining so bright. Got the sunlight. Suddenly I'm doing alright. When you dance with me. Sun 2 Celsius, I'll be up all night. Oh no.
That is what you do, you got that ultra light beam overload. 하늘위에서 열려 따뜻한 느낌 in my boots. 주감이어라도 you hear me when I do my go.
Baby, it's my lucky day. You sway my way. You hit me with that sunlight. Suddenly I'm shining so bright. Thank you for the anonymous donation. Sunlight. Suddenly I'm more than alright. Got the sunlight. Suddenly I'm shining so bright.
Raise a light, it don't matter if I'm down, you get me bright. So high, good days to bed at night. Bye bye, through the gloom, doom deep at night. You got galaxies shimmering behind your eyes. Baby, when I see you, I get mesmerized. So nice, I'ma keep you by my side. So nice, you know I gotta say it twice.
Suddenly I'm shining so bright. Got the sunlight. Suddenly I'm shining alright. Got the sunlight. Suddenly I'm shining so bright. Pose. Nice. Heck yeah. Thank you, Anonymous, for the $5 donation. Truly appreciate it. Thank you. That was a little bit of an early split. My bad. Alrighty, we got 2 more songs until we gotta change playlists. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna slow it down a little bit. We're gonna play The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Oh, we moe. away. We mow up, 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 we mow up. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, lion sleeps tonight. In the village, the Muscle village, lion sleeps. I'm sorry, I can't put. My hips don't move like the lions. Mama way.
Hush, my darling, don't fear, my darling. The lion sleeps tonight. Hush, my darling, don't fear.
Some could say her hips don't lie. I mean, that's true. My hips give away my age, which is 3 years to 30. Not even 30. Complaining SMH. Okay. Yeah, accurate, actually. True. True. Me tomorrow. Do 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 do.
Are you someone that I can give my heart to, or just the poison that I'm drawn to? It can be hard to tell the difference late at night. Play fair, is that a compass in your nature, or are you tricky? 'Cause I've been there, and maybe I don't need to learn my lesson twice. But if you really wanna go there, you should know I need someone to hold me close, deeper than I've ever known. Whose love feels like a rodeo, knows just how to take control when I'm vulnerable. He's straight talking to my soul, conversation overload, got me feeling vertigo. Are you somebody who can go there? 'Cause if that ain't you, then let me know, yeah. 'Cause training
This season's over.
I try to see my lovers in a good light. Don't wanna do it just to be nice. Don't wanna have to teach you how to love me right.
Hello. It's like an arrow. Potential. So understands.
I need someone to hold me close, deeper than I've ever known. Whose love feels like a rodeo, knows just how to take control when I'm vulnerable.
season's over.
You compete, now is your time. Run when you hear that whistle blow. Are you on my team or stuck on the sidelines waiting for someone to tell you to go? For someone to tell you to go. You should know I need someone to hold me close, deeper than I've ever known. Whose love feels like a rodeo, knows just how to take
Take control.
when I'm vulnerable. He's straight talking to my soul, conversation overload. 'Cause training season's over. 'Cause training season's
Over. They should have given it to me. That was so rude. I should have gotten 5 stars on that one. Goodness. Alrighty. Whee! 2025. Here's the next one. Sweet Melody. Melodies. Alrighty, we've got like 6 songs left, y'all. Literally 6 songs left. Get your donations in.
In a whole other life, there was this boy that I knew. He made me feel like a woman. We were young and silly fools. Anyway, he was in the band, full of songs about me. I wasn't crazy about the words, but the melodies were sweet. When someone like do 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 do. Every time we go dancing, I see his string eyes. Gave him too many chances, push my keys too many times. Anyway, he started acting up, and I'll be on my way to leave. But I stopped in my tracks when I heard this melody. And it went like
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
he used to sing me sweet melodies. He played me, made me believe it was real love. Played me sweet melodies, but the day he did me wrong, the song couldn't go on and on. He used to sing me sweet melodies. He played me, made me believe it was real love. Played me sweet melodies, but the day he did me wrong, the song couldn't go on and on. He would lie, he would cheat, over syncopated beats. I was just his tiny dance, so he had control of my feet. Yes, when he came along, that's when I lost the groove. There was no song in the world to sing along or make me move. Silence all like do 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 do. He used to sing me sweet melodies. He played me, made me believe it was real love.
I've heard my hip pop so many times. Wrong. It goes on and and me wrong. Goes on and on and on.
He used to sing me
Sweet melodies.
he played me, made me
A late 20-something loser, yeah.
sweet melodies, but the day he did me
Me wrong.
the song couldn't
It goes on and on and on. Melody did me wrong. On and on and on. Unfortunately, as stated, my hips do not move like hers. Did me wrong. No. No. It don't move like that, that's for sure. Oh, that's for sure. Old 20-something moves are also true. Also just straight true. Alrighty, the last stretch of songs, I will say, are pretty darn good. So.
I'll smile, I know what it takes to fool this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down and all through the night time. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. Keep my sunglasses on while I shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah. I put my armor on so you I put my armor on, I'll show you that I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today. Break down, only alone I will cry out now. You'll never see what's hiding out deep down. Yeah. I know, I've heard that to let you feel and show is the only way to make friendships grow, but I'm too afraid now. Yeah. I put my armor on so you know how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident.
I'm unstoppable today. 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 Unstoppable today.
Put my armor on so you know how strong I am. I put my armor on, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
I'm a Porsche with no brakes. I'm invincible. Yeah, I
I'll
win
never
every
say.
single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need batteries to play. I'm so confident. Yeah, I'm unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today.
I'm unstoppable today.
Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. Unstoppable today. I'm unstoppable today.
Nice. Alrighty, we're in the middle of the U. We've got Vogue, whenever, wherever. Like 4 songs. Oh shoot. Move to the music. And then I got lots of Pokemon to draw. Specifically, at least 2. I don't know which one Alexa chose. I'll have to look. Strike a pose. Oh, we're still going with the legs. Sorry, my bad. Strike a pose. Look around, everywhere you turn, exactly where that you go. Everything you can to escape, pain of your chance to know. On the dance floor. Come on, Vogue. Get your body moved to the music. Come on, Vogue. Move to. All you need is your own imagination. Yes, so that's what it's for. Time to walk the door. Friends, if you're back or away, if you're a boy or a girl, if your music's pumping and you give you a nice superstar, that's what you are, you know it. Come on, Vogue. Get your body moved to the music. Come on, Vogue. Get your body moved to the music. I swear you bump and grind it. So I feel so beautiful. I did a thing. Hi, EG. Congrats on your watch streak. Come on, Vogue. Let your body move with the move. Beauty's where you find it. Greta Garbo, Jen Monroe, Chicken DiMaggio, Marlon Brando, Jimmy Dean on the cover of a magazine. Queen. I love you. I love you. Do it, Vogue. Vogue. Got to change your body, move to the music. Got to change your body, move to the floor. You got to. You got to. Vogue, 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 Vogue. Thank you to Hydrate as well. Alrighty, 3 songs left. Oh, yikes. We're meant to be together. Reminder, I do not have Shakira hips. La 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 la. I can be wherever, wherever we're meant to be together. I'll be there and he'll be near. It's my dear, my dear. but you have to wonder.
Can always play by ear, but that's the
Hey, dear, my dear.
lucky that my lips not only mumble, can spill kisses like a thumb. Lucky that my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mums. Lucky I have strong words like my mother to run for cover when I need it. And these two eyes that for no other, the day you leave will cry a river.
Atrophy. Wherever, wherever we're meant to be together, I'll be there and you'll be near. That's the deal, my dear. Forever wonder. Dear, that's the deal, my dear. Le, 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 le.
Say it again. Tell me one more time that you'll live lost in my eyes.
Wherever, wherever we're meant to be together.
And you'll be near, and that's the deal, my dear. You got me head over heels. There's nothing left to feel if you really feel the way I feel. Whenever, wherever we're meant to be together, I'll be there and you'll be near, and that's the deal, my dear. You got
Me head over heels.
there's nothing left to feel if you really feel the way I feel.
Bumper. You're off work tomorrow, G Money? I'm freaking jealous. I should have. Alrighty, last two songs of the night. Here we go. Here we go. I changed the order of them.
You're so in love with him, it's tragic. You just wanna have him all to yourself.
So we could end with Yeah by Usher.
Family is perfect, but behind the curtains, he's someone else. When will you use your common sense? He drags you down instead of compliments. You know he ain't heaven sent. No, he ain't heaven sent. Look at the
You have Monday off, right? Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
I'm
Doesn't
telling
know what's so fast.
what he's putting you through
Okay.
is too much. I told you enough, but you don't.
Keep in mind, reminder,
You just tell me you
I work in healthcare.
won't be long. It's a matter of time.
Also, I'm taking off a lot of time in June and July.
Enough is enough. 'Cause
So,
you listen, you just tell me you love who you love. It's like we're going round in circles. He does this on purpose to keep you near. This toxic love making you feel like you're insane. He promised you he's gonna change, but he's the same. When will you use your common sense? He drags you down instead of compliments. in the bed. I sound like a broken record, but you need to figure it out. Girl, give 'em up. I'm telling you it's too fat. What it's putting you through is too much. I told you enough, but you don't wanna listen. You just tell me you love who you love. Won't be long, it's a matter of time till you call me 'cause he made you cry. Enough is enough, 'cause you don't wanna listen. You just tell me you love
What do you love? Are you kidding? We were a hair away from 5 stars on that one. We should have gotten 5 stars. Rude. Alrighty, last song. Lee doesn't know what days off are. I do. Very much so. Alrighty, here we go. What's up, A-Town? Okay. Ush. A couple of homies. Gonna be. What a. Picking up on me. She shot at me. I think feeling like she's ready to blow. Ah. Oops. Get me. Get me. Up and followed her to the floor. Said, baby, let's go. And I told her Thank you for the donation. I did see that. Saying I know she's all up on me, saying yeah. Say that right now. Might be like say you know team. Hey, you are. No, but. Yeah, oh. One more dance, and I'm like, yeah. Supposed to leave, and I said. Yeah! Taco milkshake? What the hey? Oh, when the score comes up. Bam! Woo! Oh. No, oh, shit. 209.25. Let's go, everybody. Which... What one's this one? 2025? Let your body move to the music. Where's my Just Dance 2025? and to be together. You so much. That's a new world record. The person who has it right now she has her time at 2 hours, 12 minutes, 48 seconds. Woo! That is a new world record. My goodness. Again, thank you all so much for the donations today. Let me again go through and thank everybody after it. Save splits. Be together, I'll be there and Pedro, Bay. I don't excited. Pedro, Bay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oops, shoot, wrong code. That's it. Please let me in. Thank you to everyone that donated today. Rev, Alexa, Anonymous, Taco Milkshake. Thank you so much. That's so very kind of you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for donating to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We have some Pokemon to draw today. We've got a couple. So, again, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Hi, Hollow Force. Welcome on in. Yippee! Nice stream for donations. Hi, bro. Thank you. I also work for a state. Nice. You get hella PTO on holidays. I'm a little jealous. I'm sure I probably could find a way for me to work for a state, but I don't think I really want to. So, oh, I'm sorry because I said the name. My apologies. Alrighty. Let me close off Just Dance. Wait, hang on. There we go. Wow, my posture looks ass. Let's fix that real fast, shall we? Alrighty. Which I shall say, we are already at $1,719 raised for St. Jude so far. Alrighty. So today we start with Rev. So Rev asked for I'm just reading so Alexa's message says, Suicune for the plot. Also, my chat isn't working either, so Rake did something or something's glitched early. So, Rev asked for Reshiram, and then Alexa put in the question response, put Rowlet, and then said Suicune. So, alrighty. For everyone's chat being broken earlier. Alrighty, let me pull up Paint. I meant Suicune. Okay. Sounds good. Actually, I think we need some cooldown music. Let's just do some Good Kid. If anything, I helped out. I mean, you kind of did by bringing it up to everybody that Devin couldn't type in chat. So, I guess you kind of did. Alrighty. So, Reshiram. Here's the problem. I can kind of picture it in my head, but not really. I also don't really know what the color is. So that's also a problem. Um, so here we go, I guess. Why did Rev have to pick a hard one? This is a problem. Right off the map. I'm gonna be so honest. This Reshiram is about to look like a blob. Because to me, it's got and then it's got like a neck / head part, and then it's like a blob. But then it's got like 4 horse legs. What Pokemon? Reshiram. It's got a tail though, doesn't it? Too. I feel like it's got a tail. I'm gonna be so for real. This is the best we're gonna get, is the problem. What was that, Reshiram? No way. Thanks. You ready? You want to see how bad I did in comparison? Oh, which one was I thinking of? Oh shit, which one was I thinking of? This is nothing like this. Oh no. I think I was thinking of the horse. Okay, so this is what Reshiram looks like. Actually, we can obviously tell. What's the mystical horse? Mystical horse looking Pokemon. No, not that one. No, no, no. What the frick was I thinking of? Hang on, I'll figure it out. Give me a second. No. I think I was thinking of none of these. I think I was thinking of a mix of Reshiram and these ones. And the Zacian, this one. I knew it wasn't that one. Why did I think it was a horse? I really don't know which one was a horse. Yeah, my favorite horse Pokemon, the dogs. Okay, well, a Rapidash or Calyrex? Yeah, none of yeah, neither of those. I was not thinking of Calyrex. I didn't know that one. Kind of, not really. Maybe I was thinking of combination of that one, of Reshiram and Calyrex, not Calyrex, but not this one, the middle one, Glastrier. Calyrex is this one. It gives Ultra Necrozma a little bit. I don't know what that looks like. Was I? What was the other one? Wait, put it back up. Let's figure this out. Okay, here's my drawing. I don't know if you were thinking at all. It's you with 100% vibes. If you squint. Wait. What does Ultra Necrozma look like? No. Was definitely not thinking that one. I can tell you, I've never seen that one in my entire life. Looks like a dog with a sheet over it. Just throw it on the cover of Pokemon Black. No. Straight up, I don't know what I was thinking of because I can't even tell you the Pokemon's name. Because I full on thought it was Reshiram, but it's not. Okay, hang on. Hold up. Here. I'm going to save it and then I'm going to try again. Okay, now that I've seen it. Okay. Because ooh. Okay, I think I'm going to draw it from this view. Okay. Xerneas or Entei? Someone tell her a fake Pokemon and see what happens. I don't think Xerneas. Unless there's like different forms of it, but I don't think so. Definitely not Entei. I do know what Entei looks like. I know those ones. Pokemon or prescription drug? Is that what Lux is sending me? Uh, I'm gonna circle all the drugs. Alrighty. This is a drug. Oh shoot, you can't see it. I'll highlight it then. This is a drug. This is a drug. This is a drug. Cliscor? Drug. No. Drug. 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 That's also a drug. Voltaren is actually the ointment. I do know that one. The drug. Monjuvi, drug. Did I miss any? Centret, Vibrava, Vaporeon, Flareon, Nincada, Azurill, Umbreon, Rayquaza, Marowak, Vulpix, Glaceon. Huge. Okay. Alrighty. Back to drawing my Reshiram. Actually, legitimately this time. Now that I know what it looks like. You say Reshiram like old people say. How am I supposed to say it? Chipotle. Sorry. And I thought it was Reshiram? Reshiram? Oh. Is it? I have no idea. Bitch, how am I supposed to draw the tail? It's got a fun little like choker detail there. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. There's Rev's Reshiram. Reshiram. Now that I actually know what it looks like. Alrighty. Ba 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 boom. Do 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 do. Ba ba na ma na ma na ma na ma ma ma. Long way round. Alrighty, new one. Don't save. Okay. Alrighty. Alexa, what did you want? Suicune? Okay, so here we go. We need like a more of a tealy color, like that. Four legs. Let's start there. That's a thick leg. Hang on. Bum 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 bum. Also horse-like animal. Okay. Now it's got a normal head at first, and then it's got those like two big purple things on it. Allegedly horse-like animal. Okay, wait. We need the purple. Like that? Never. You guys can't answer. Never mind. I don't know what the eyes look like. This is also the other problem. Because I think I made it drop down too far because I think the face is right here. I think that's our issue. I don't know what the eyes look like either. That's also a problem. And then here's the other thing. Is it's got some spot somewhere. Now it does not look like Yoshi with big sunglasses. It does now. What do you mean? It does look like Yoshi with big sunglasses right now? No way. I feel like there's more purple somewhere. Where am I missing purple? Oh, I was so close. Damn. Okay, Suicune? I got the colors mixed up. I thought there was, and so the purple is what I needed to put here, and then apparently it's the tail that comes around, and then it's that blue little headpiece. I got like a stripe, the white stripe, and then it wasn't dots, but it was supposed to be that, the diamond shape. Close enough. Alrighty. Where's the udders at? Where were there ever udders on this? Okay. I don't think we were supposed to. And the tail? Listen, the tail instead came out of its head, okay? Sue me. Sue me! For others, yeah. Okay. Okay, sure. Let me post these in the Discord. Reshiram 2, and Suicune. You love to see it. Alrighty. Was there anything else I was missing? Did I do everything? Yeah. Let's see. I think I got everything. Anyone else think of anything else that we can think of that I was supposed to? I think that's it. Ooh. I think that's it. We'll be live tomorrow. Sound good? Same time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Saturday's the long stream, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be going for 8 hours. We've already raised $1,700 for St. Jude. I truly appreciate it. I still have to think of an incentive for what we need to do for $2,000 if we happen to hit that amount. Thank you all so much for your donations. I truly appreciate it. Let me see who's currently live and who we can go hang out with now. Sound asleep in your pillow. Phone speaker. I fuck with this song hard. Hang on, let me refresh. I'm gonna see if anyone else is playing Just Dance, and if not, then I have somebody else that we can go to. Okay. Alrighty, Grace is live. We're gonna go at Grace. Grace is playing Blueprints. Also, Grace just got a haircut, so make sure to tell her it looks good, because it does. So, alrighty. Ghost Keeper. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Here's our lovely raid messages. first one there is for subscribers. The second one there is for followers, because regardless, we love to go and spread the love onto more people. I truly appreciate it. Thank you all to those of you that all donated for St. Jude today. I truly appreciate it. Again, it is so kind of you and so generous, and I truly appreciate it. I will be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Speedrunning Just Dance 2026. So this year's game. All the new songs. All songs. Tomorrow. Okay? Have a wonderful rest of your evening, a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you all very, very soon, aka tomorrow. Good. Ooh, my back looks... Damn, I look strong right now. Okay. You get it, girl. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.